Breathe here.
You guys must be cool. It's too quiet.
Set.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, Coach, let's have you make a general comment about the game, and then we'll open it up to questions.
First off, I want to say congratulations to Cincinnati Anderson. I mean, that's a heck of a football team, well coached. We watched countless hours of film on them and knew exactly what we were up against. And for our defense to hold them to 13 points was remarkable because they're that talented. And you saw the plays they made, so kudos to them. About our guys, I thought offensively we were able to possess the ball, keep it out of their hands, and our run game was clicking. Number 5 over here has done it for us all year long. Tremendous player, can run it in, spin it. But I couldn't be more proud. And I will tell you this, that I'm humbled to sit here with these guys and representing our coaching staff, because this is done by numerous guys who've dumped their heart and soul into this. And so couldn't be more proud for our coaches and players.
Coach Elder, Keno Sultan, Stark County Prep Press. It was 13 years ago your team challenged for the state championship. It came up short. 13 years later, describe the gratifying feeling of what it means to be #1 wire to wire and state champions.
It's been a long time coming, you know, and when I first got to Avon 18 years ago, we said our goal was to ultimately win a state championship. That's our goal. Our why has always been to develop successful young men, and I think we've done that year in and year out. We just have remarkable kids leave our program, and many of them were here today hugging me after that game, and it just speaks volumes for the experience they have. But at the end of the day, it's always been a goal, and for us to continue to grind and fight, and for these kids to believe in the coaching staff, and for us, our coaches, to believe in them and get this done, it's just it's an amazing accomplishment that I'm really proud of these guys.
It's been a while since you guys have had to make defensive stands the way you guys did in the second half. What do you chalk up your guys' ability to persevere to?
I think it really just starts in the off season. We've grinded every single day since May 20th. That was our first practice, and from that point on, we just grinded every single day. We knew how last year ended, and we didn't want that to happen again. So we made it a mission to every single week just to do our job, play physical, play fast, and have fun. And that's just how we play defense. And defense wins championships around here. So huge. I'm just so proud of our team and our defense.
Jeff, follow that up. That fourth down stop and then 3 yards from the end zone was obviously a huge play. Jeremiah Kelly came up with a big tackle, but obviously a team defensive thing. Just talk about that play and just how big of a momentum change it was.
Jeremiah's he's going to Cincinnati. He signed yesterday to go play offensive line, and for him to make a play like that in the state championship game, the goal line where it matters most, it was unbelievable. I'm just so proud of him, and he's grinded. He started playing football his freshman year, and you look at him now, and it's unbelievable. But as a team effort, we were just ready. We were ready to go, and we were more physical at the point of attack, and just ended up making a huge play at the end of the game.
No,
You guys play in one of the toughest divisions, I think, in all 7 divisions. You guys been so close the last couple of years. Tell us how special this one is, just to pull it out, especially in this type of environment tonight, where we're running. Them guys didn't run the ball very well once we look at the stats, but that running back, I don't know what he had. Ice skates on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's your question. There's a lot in that. What was your question?
The question is playing in that division.
Yeah.
It's a tough division.
Yes.
And to finally break through and win a state title. Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it that everything we've done in our program is to structure it to be able to win these games. And it was several years ago we lost Akron-Hoban 42-7, and the media, like you guys, interviewed me, and I sounded like a crybaby and made excuses. Talked about how it was unfair that parochial schools can recruit, open enrollment public schools can recruit, and that we were a closed enrollment school that couldn't. And the truth is that is a disadvantage. But what lesson are you teaching kids? I don't want the playoffs to be separated. I want to beat the best. And so we just decided we were going to focus on what we have in Avon. And it's a brotherhood. These guys up here have played football since first grade together, and they love each other, and love is powerful. And so our coaches love them. They love our coaches. And then we just put together a structure with youth football to maximize numbers and participation. And this is a culminating experience of all of it. And there were so many players who have come before these guys that have really done a remarkable job of believing, and some of those guys fell short, and those were devastating losses. But this one feels really good because it's not only for these group of kids, but it's for everyone who ever wore the purple and gold.
Coach Elder. How important was it to start the way you did, getting the score right away, kind of forcing their hand a little bit, and then making them drive the field instead of any explosive plays? Your defense did a great job of holding them from those big explosive plays.
Yeah, that was part of the game plan. Coach Cicchetti, our defensive coordinator, and his staff had a remarkable plan. Coach Cicchetti is also our strength coach, and if you don't get guys big and strong like these guys up here, you don't have a chance in these games. You got to be physical, and we are physical. And then, Coach Cicchetti's plan was great. We kept everything in front of us, and were able to get the stops when we needed to. And that last one, was really big, and couldn't be more proud of our defensive players and our defensive staff.
No, the weather out here tonight was as bad as you'll see at the state championship week game. But anyway, from your position, how did that play on your mind as the game went along, and how did you cope with the weather?
Yeah, coming into every single game, I know obviously we watch film, but other teams watch film on us. And last week I ran a little bit, but I didn't run, like this week. And so coming in, I knew that, and just from watching film, that I feel like I could make some things happen on the ground with my legs, and I feel like that's a gift that I was given by God. With my athletic ability, I feel like I was able to, make plays on the ground all night. And kudos to my coaches for, calling my number. And just giving me that opportunity.
No, I got a question. How did the weather affect the way you coach the game, Coach?
The weather obviously had an effect. The ball was slippery, and it's tough elements to play offensive football in. But I thought our kids handled it very well. And honestly, the reason we didn't throw it as much as we have in some other games was not any other reason than Cincinnati Anderson's structure of their defense is really good against open sets, and they love blitzing the quarterback and getting after it. They feast off that, and we felt like we were the more physical team and could run the football, specifically with our backs and our quarterback, who's a dynamic runner, as you guys all saw tonight. So that was the game plan, is to try to keep their offense on the sidelines and pound the football.
Coach, there so many guys step up tonight in the second half. Weatherspoon got his hand on that extra point. Atkins at the end of the game. We talked about Jeremiah Kelly. What did that say about this team, that it wasn't one hero, but everybody stepped up and made a part of the win?
Well, they're such an unselfish group of kids. They love each other, and they don't care who gets the credit. Like, that's the best part of this team. There's not selfish guys. They're guys who the most important thing is winning and having each other's backs, and that just speaks volumes that different guys step up every week for this team. I just think about the schedule we played starting at Cleveland Brown Stadium, going 16-0 with the competition that we played every week. And when this all sets in, I'm going to really sit back and admire the efforts of these guys. Number 16 down here is a complete baller, energy giver, so fun to be around. This guy's a spark plug of our defense, and Nolan is one of the greatest high school football players I've ever coached, and so I'm just so happy.
After your guys' last game, what's it mean to you to be the ones to break through for Avon?
Yeah, since we started the first practice, like he said, on May 20th, there was always goals that we put ourselves to, and that was to win the first one at that Brown Stadium, beat our rivals, win the SWC, and then come out here and win the last one. And with the group of guys that I had right here, and the coaching staff and everything, and the brotherhood, just the way we were able to stick together really shows who we are as a team, and the coaches that we have. And it feels great to get it done out here with these guys. I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Nolan.
Talk a little bit about the running game, particularly the running backs and supporting Nolan. I felt like you guys blocked very well. You particularly had a nice block that helped bring that first touchdown.
Yeah, obviously we're going to do whatever we can to spring this offense open. It's a team game. It's not an individual played game. So if that's what it takes, we're going to do whatever it takes to, let our guys work, let the guys eat out in space. And, not just me, but we have two other running backs, Cam and Keontae, which really helps because depth. And, they were able to get after it tonight too. And, it was just a great day by that room, and not only that room, but the team as well.
No,
you guys, I feel like the second week in a row, or maybe even more than this, you guys come out right in the gate of halftime, get a stop, score. If you guys are able to dominate or start the second half, what does that mean to show that you guys are able to do that and come out and set the tone?
Are you talking to me or Nolan? I'm gonna be honest, I'm reading the stats. Is this right about Nolan's stats? Dude, you had 19 carries for 98 yards.
You had more than a running back over here.
Holy
I love
Toledo.
it.
That's right, that's correct. Sorry, you gotta ask me the question again, because I was just sitting here like, I knew Nolan ran for a lot of yards, but I didn't know
To be
that.
fair, those stats are worth daydreaming about. But you guys, second week in a row, you guys came out and like set the tone in the second half, like with the stop, score. I mean, what does that say about this team? They're able to come out of the locker room and do that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talked all week about playing the next play, and if you score a touchdown, so what, who cares, play the next play. You know, if you give up a touchdown, play the next play, which, by the way, the blocked extra point, how big was that, you know? And so our players just have that mentality and mindset that we're going to play the next play until no plays are there. Something good happens, okay, great, play the next play. And I think that that's just been the mindset of this team all year long. And I'm still impressed in the one. You had 19 carries for 198 yards, but that's pretty impressive.
90 or 198?
198. 198.
Hey, Nolan,
It's almost 200.
Nolan,
Should have given it to you more in the regular season, I suppose.
Nolan, you told me that your career has kind of been like a movie. What's it like reflecting on it now that the movie's concluded with a state championship?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even put it into words. Just there's so many movies out there where the main character battles adversity and comes back and has this crazy show. And I feel like I was that guy that battled adversity my junior season with that injury late in the playoffs, and unfortunately not being able to take the field with my guys and ultimately win that last game last year when we really did feel like we knew we had the coaches for it, but we did feel like we had the talent for it. And then just to come back this season and everything just go as planned, there's no better feeling. I'm just so happy and proud of my guys.
Nolan, how special, we don't talk enough about these guys, the guys up front. How special was that offensive line tonight?
The most underrated offensive line in the state of Ohio. They're not the biggest guys, and they may not be the strongest guys, but they work the best together. They talk everything out. They're best friends off the field. They're my best friends. I see them every day in school, hang out with them at least once a week, at minimum. They deserve so much credit. They'll never get enough credit. There's a lot of people that deserve a lot of credit, but that group of 5 guys, 6 guys because we rotate one in, but they put so much work in and they deserve everything.
Coach Elder,
Talk about the
you're-
strong relationships within this team. Like one thing, every single game, after every game, you take the time to get everyone gathered together and pray. You guys are like a giant family. And tonight, even after the end of the game, it was a game you guys have been all going crazy and celebrating, taking pictures right away. Did you guys make sure to take time to just talk about that and how you guys instilled that for all 16 games?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
He's talking about taking time to have a moment of silence for everything that we're grateful for.
Yeah, so I definitely, our FCA program at the high school is very, very strong, and we recognize that everything is possible through God. Without Him, we're nothing. And I definitely think that we've implemented that into our team. I've heard some guys, start to really believe in that. And really, without God, we're nothing, and there's nothing about it. And win or lose this game, we're going to praise Him anyway. Everything goes to Him. God gives Him everything.
Nolan, you had 190 rushing yards. That's a very impressive stat line, by the way, and you got 71 of those on the big first quarter touchdown. So, talk to me about how that was to build that momentum up.
For sure, yeah. There's nothing better than getting the ball first and going down and scoring. And with a big play, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game. Gets the guys on the sideline up, gets the crowd involved. But I couldn't do it without my guys. They made great blocks. Coach called a great call. It's all kudos to the film and the time spent off the field and throughout the week in practice. There's just so much that goes into the little things that you guys don't even think about. But yeah, I'm just glad it paid off, really.
Okay, we're gonna do 2 more questions. I think you had one, and then we'll go to you.
Coach Elder.
Sorry.
5 years in a row, your team came up short in the state semifinals before finally breaking through. Would it be safe to say that this Avon team had a run reminiscent to the 1991 Chicago Bulls when they came up short year after year after year before finally breaking through and getting that championship?
Man, you're taking me back to the NBA days. I love it. Listen, what I said earlier was we've had some really good football teams who got to the Final Four, and I've sat and watched the state championship game on Thursdays, and listened to coaches sit here and talk, and thought, man, we were that close. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but in that Final Four game, it was 17-14, and then before that, we lost the game by 7. And so we've been knocking on this door for a while. And our players could have easily just threw their hands up in the air and stopped trying and give it up. And man, this is hard. Because if I told you the things these kids did, if I told you when this started, you wouldn't believe it. Like, the work that goes into this is incredible. And it's worth it because, you know what? The prize is really in the journey. The prize isn't right now the state championship. The prize was in this journey. And eventually I'm going to sit here and become sad because the journey's over. But at least we have that journey and we've made a lifetime memory.
Okay, Matt.
Not only to get 190, but to get in the snow with the slick field. How did that impact your mindset, just trying to keep your footing too?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about it too much. I try to, keep my mind focused on what I can control. I can't control Mother Nature and the snow, but so I wouldn't say I was thinking about it too much. I don't think I struggled with, losing my footing. I think it kind of came natural just to do what I normally do. But just to answer that, like I didn't think about it too much.
Okay, we're gonna let these guys go, and if you need more, you can follow them down the hallway, but congratulations, guys.
You guys got to remember,